Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Control me, Daddy. Welcome in to the 126th episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. And this will be the Bad Batch Bitches. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Hola. What an episode this week, boys. I'm so excited to talk about this one. Can't wait to get into it.
What an episode indeed. I am also joined by Miles motherfucking Buttress. What's up, homie?
I'm doing good. Kind of pissed at Disney for leaving us with this and making us wait another week. But, you know, take it and I'll take it. It's acceptable. At least it was, you know, the fact that I'm pissed means it was a great episode. So
yeah, they brought the fucking thunder with this one. I'm also joined by KBZ Kyler Barnett. What's up, homie?
Not much. Ready to get into it.
Let's get into it. I am Colton Robertson, and again, this is the Bad Batch Bitches. This, by the way, our 50th gathering since Mandalorian #1 rewatch. This is the 50th episode. We did Mandalorian, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. Now the Bad Batch episode 15 has brought us to 50. Now, if anybody actually tries to count that out, they'll go, but that's 52 episodes. You would say, I would direct you to episode 71, where we covered WandaVision episodes 1 through 3.
Oh. Checkmate.
I tell you to fuck your own face.
However, I don't think I was on the first two Mandalorians, was I?
You were not. You were, however, the spirit of it. The spirit of what we have created.
But could it be that with me it would be 50 though, right? Does that math? Or no?
Does 50 math?
50 episodes covered. Yes. 50 episodes recorded. In total, 50 episodes covered for you.
Congrats.
It's all very confusing. Let's talk about the Bad Batch, episode 15, The Return to Kamino, written by Matt Miknovitz, the writer of Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, this was the shit. They have this way in this show of being able to go to a different level, knowing they're going to a different level. This is a different type of show when these types of episodes are on. Just know. And, you know, we got it with episode 1. We got it a little bit with, like, episode 4 and the Cad Bane versus Fennec Shand. And every time we come back to Crosshair, this is always, it's always the vibe.
Spicing it up with the boy Crosshair.
And this was a fucking phenomenal episode. I want to know how you felt about it overall. Kyler Barnett, let's hear about it.
Well, being back on Kamino this time, I feel like we got a little bit different side of Kamino, like in a sense. Like, I feel like the parts of Kamino we saw, like the tunnel system that we end up seeing with Omega, that was cool. And it's really cool. I thought that she, like, was very, like, sure about where she was going. Like, it's cool that she has this stuff memory. Like, it just shows that she is part, like, it showed, I felt like her intelligence and her usefulness is like, she really has that, like, clone brain. Like, it's simple. It's really just as simple as that. Like, she can analyze and, like, remember, and, like, she is tactical with this stuff. Like, she has it ingrained in her. It's not a surprise. But
and I also love that in this return to Kamino, when Hunter is absent, she is the leader. Like, she is the de facto leader here, guiding them where to go and stuff. Obviously not making all the decisions, but, like, it's like, you guys need to follow me.
No,
now.
She's running point. Like, it's simple. She's running that shit, and I love it.
And I appreciate that part of it, because I love that the return to Kamino on her part was voluntary. Obviously, she had to do it. She had to go save Hunter, but she got to make that decision. It was her who went, we have to fucking go. You know, like, and I love that, like, when it came down to it, she was obviously willing to go back to Kamino for them the same way they were willing to go back to Kamino for her.
I mean, when that promise was made between Hunter and Omega, like, it was obvious we were going back to Kamino at some point. Like,
it was. However, I was worried it was going to be she was taken captive and taken back to Kamino.
This is the preferred way.
This was the preferred way for sure.
I think it was also a little obvious that she not only was she going back to Kamino, but that she was going back to Kamino as part of like a mission that would clearly involve Crosshair.
Oh yeah,
whether
like,
it was
be like that,
she
that
got captured or someone
like,
else got. Yeah, that would be the end. Is her going back to Kamino, which it was.
Yeah, and what an end to Kamino it was. Joe, how'd you feel about the episode overall?
I mean, honestly, the last 10 minutes alone of this episode, like, I guess, I mean, how long is it total? 20-something, almost 30? 20. So, like, it was kind of a longer-ish episode for Bad Batch. But, I mean, like, I guess the last 5 minutes really is just, like, alone is already just good enough.
I
like,
will
this episode
say this.
was just fantastic.
To comment on the last 5 minutes Joe's talking about, I think that I'm a big audio, like, the sounds of things are really like hugely, they have a huge effect on how I like process these things and like how I enjoy them. And the score for the last 5 minutes of the episode was freaking insane. It was it's just one of those things.
Last 5 minutes, bro. The score all throughout this episode.
I think Crosshair's score, the kind of stuff that goes on when Crosshair enters the screen and is involved, the music is like, it reminds me, it has the vibe almost, like the way it makes me feel when it's on screen of like Prowler from Into the Spider-Verse. Not nearly as good, but like that level, like that kind of feeling, like that, like intensity of the score, but also like the, like, man, like this score is so badass, like this character, like, fuck, it hits you, you know? I feel like Crosshair and like is on that kind of level with the music. Like there are a few characters that when their music comes on, you're like, you lock in. It's to go back to like, it's that sit up moment where it's like, holy shit, like, wow.
There's that part where he gets in Hunter's face and he's telling him like, yo, y'all ain't come back for me. And it goes, dun dun.
His
and then
voice
he says another line and it goes,
too.
Dun dun. And he says another line and it goes, dun dun. And I was like, oh my fucking God. This is electric.
And his voice also elevates this stuff too. His voice, just that guttural, like, it sounds like just that, like there's a twist about it. Like there's almost like this, you know, like, you know, he's got something in him. Like you're hoping he does, but his voice, it makes you question it every time. His voice makes you question it every time.
That's a good description.
I'm really excited to discuss with you guys where Crosshair is. I want to save that a little bit for later. Miles, how'd you feel about the episode overall?
Just loved it. Agree with all the points you guys have made. Really loved, as you guys said, just Crosshair's fucking firing back at him every time. It was like, we go back for our own. And he's like, the fuck you do?
You betrayed everything we stood for.
Yeah,
I loved that shit.
You know,
and this was finally the acknowledgement that I've been looking for all season, and it was just that they weren't going back for him.
Yeah,
like,
which that's kind of sucks.
No, it does suck. Like, the thing was that they tried to kill him. Like he tried to kill them, and they were like that's what they say. That was Hunter's appeal. He was like, you tried to kill us. We had no choice.
Like, maybe it was just the inhibitor chip, and like they were just like, you know what, like, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, like, obviously there's something they can do about it.
I mean, they've had the inhibitor chips removed for a minute.
I'm trying to defend this as like, maybe this is just not where the story's going. Like, maybe Crosshair is coming back, and they didn't need to have like the feeling of like, we need to save him because like he's coming back anyways. Like, it's, I don't know. Like,
no, I think that's just not good enough at that point.
Do you want to talk? Are we talking about where we think Crosshair's at right now, or no?
I don't know. That should be the last conversation. That's fine.
Yeah, you said it, and I didn't know if it was like now because I had a point, but
we should save it.
I don't think that was the reasoning for their choice of that story. I think it was they chose this way because it made. I think like what
it
they
makes
did
Crosshair's angle sad.
As much as you hate it because you're like, no, they should have gone back for him, but it makes his angle in his story sad. Like then he can take the position of, no, you betrayed me, I didn't betray you.
Every time we cut back to Crosshair now, and every time I thought he looked conflicted, what he's feeling is, why the fuck
are you
not coming back for me? Like, that's what he's feeling. And it's devastating.
It's the Lotso hugging bear, man. That's what it is. That's what he's on right now. He's on that Lotso pack. He's on that Lotso pack right now.
He's on that Lotso pack. What do we jump in this scene by scene breakdown of Return to Kamino written by Matt Micknevitz? What do you say?
Let's do it.
So, we open here on a shuttle traveling through hyperspace, and we've got a captive Hunter. He's visited by Crosshair here, and he's like, yo, where are we going? And Crosshair's like, oh, you'll know, and your squad will know soon. And Hunter's like, my comm won't work. They know that's a trap. And Crosshair's like, come on, buddy. You know your friends better than that. They'll come for you. And that must have been so painful. That must have been so painful for Crosshair to be like, yeah, they'll come back for you.
Oh man, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
and
that's a rough one.
And this is why I said that I think that they chose this storyline, because it makes, like, it sucks, but it makes Crosshair's story
that much more devastating.
But great.
Like, and what sucks though is that it reflects so poorly on protagonists. Like, it's like you really did kind of betray everything you stood for. More on that later. The conversation is later. We'll save it for later. But Hunter is left in his cell here, and he's left with two armed elite squad troopers. Love these guys. Love that they died. Mm-hmm. And back on Ord Mantell, Echo is making some repairs to the Marauder, and Omega's like, dude, we got to get fucking moving, man. We need to get going. Echo's like, focus up. Omega's like, but Hunter, on Darrow, we need to go. Echo's like, hey, I'll remind you that the ship needs to be repaired. Come on, young lady. We got to be able to move. And he's like, hand me the spanner. And he fixes the whole Echo and Omega enter the Marauder, and Tech is working on getting the systems back online. And Wrecker's like, hey, I left Gregor with Sid. She wasn't too happy about it. And got a question. Do you think Sid and Gregor explored each other's bodies?
Colton, I need to bring this up. I was on Twitter today, and I saw some fuck shit liked by the Penny Bloom podcast. And I was so close to taking a screenshot of it and sending it in and being like, what the fuck is this?
I thought he was her soldier. I just thought it wouldn't be brought up. I was just going to coast on by it. But,
I'm happy that all three of us saw it. And all of us thought, no, we'll just let it slide. We'll talk about it some other time. And
my mother was over my shoulder. My mother was over my shoulder while I was scrolling through Twitter.
Hell yeah. No.
One of the first things to pop
Gregor,
up.
Funkiest couple in Star Wars, I'm going to tell you right now. But
what was their fucking, the name that the person gave? Like Sid Gore?
Sid Gore. Sid Gore.
I just saw that.
It just sounds awful.
I've never been more happy going into it, the replies and stuff to it, because half of them that I saw immediately were just like, jail, straight to jail.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Bonk. But,
just stop.
Echo's like, oh, what else is new? Sid's not fucking happy. Of course. And Tech's like, we're up and running. Let's get going. And, before they can get off, they, receive a transmission from Hunter's comm, and Tech's like, yeah, Hunter's no longer on Darrow. And we see this, we then cut to this Imperial shuttle descending in the, stormy atmosphere of Kamino. And, upon landing at Tapoka City, Hunter is marched out of the ship by Crosshair and his elite squad troopers, and they're greeted by Rampart. And, next episode determines a lot of stuff about Rampart, determines a lot of stuff about Crosshair, and we'll get more to that later too. Everything is just sus around Rampart. Obviously, he's a full-blown Imperial. And Crosshair, tells Rampart, yeah, we plan to intercept the rest of the Bad Batch on arrival. Like, they'll be here. We know. And then Rampart speaks to Hunter, telling him, the destruction your squad caused on Ryloth got my attention. I considered you an actual threat after that. And Rampart leaves.
Thank you?
Yeah, like, all right, cool. And he leaves Hunter to Crosshair, and he's like, stay on schedule. So, like, we know that this is, like, something's coming. We don't know what. We find out by the end.
I mean, I think we all kind of knew.
We suspected, but, like...
I did not.
I
had no... I was completely jaw-dropped at the end. Like,
I knew that there had been questions since, the prequel trilogy, like, the prequels finished, of what the fuck happened to the Kaminoans, that going into this episode, I was like, I have a feeling if we go to Kamino, and, like, we really go to Kamino, we're gonna get some answers.
If the question is in Star Wars, what happened to this entire race of people?
Yeah.
It's generally the Empire.
What happened to this planet after the fall of the Republic?
Cluster of planets, even.
Hey, it's not always the Empire. Sometimes it's just general. They were just slaughtered.
But
the women and the children too.
The Elite Squad member number 2 questions Crosshair's motives. Fuck is up? This your old squad coming? I don't trust any of them. And Rampart is like, yo, if Crosshair's plan fails, none of them will be a problem anymore. You don't have to worry about anything. And he orders, keep an eye on him. And while the Marauder travels through hyperspace, Tech warns that the Empire is using Hunter's comm to lure them in. He's like, I don't know this is a good idea. We're clearly going into a trap. That's just couldn't be more obvious. And America's like, no turning back now. And Tech asks Omega, it's like, are you certain about these coordinates? And Omega's like, I couldn't be more certain. Landing pad's right here. And Echo warns that all platforms are going to be swarming with troopers. And Omega's like, not this one.
I'm Omega.
But, upon
Colton, love your accent way more for everything else. Joseph's just has a special place in my heart, though, specifically just for I'm Omega.
That's fair. That's fair.
The screech of it is unmatched.
I'm Omega.
It's me. You got to get the E. It's like a weird. It's like
a rat
together.
It's like
yeah. Omega.
I'm Omega.
Which does compute.
Upon exiting hyperspace, Echo spots 3 cruisers above Kamino and is like, where the fuck is the rest of the fleet? Why are there only 3 cruisers here? And Wrecker's like, this is probably a good thing. And Tech looks to the coordinates and flies the Marauder through the stormy skies. And he reaches the coordinates, and Tech's like, I don't fucking like this. I don't really want to do this. And Omega's like, you got to go lower, buddy. Just dip this boat right down in the water, would you? And Echo's like, yo, we're detecting a pretty large structure beneath us. What the fuck? And then it landing platform rises out of the ocean, and the Marauder docks. And I'm pretty sure we had a theory about something like this back when we were discussing the potential meeting spot for where Cad Bane was going to take Omega to the Kaminoans. We were like, there's got to be some secret place that goes underwater like that.
We're so smart. We're just this.
We're geniuses. Don't get me wrong, but I think I feel like I kind of vaguely remember that, and I think it came out of a place of like, there has to be some place on Kamino that they like, some secret place that the Empire doesn't know about.
Yeah,
like somewhere, right? And we're geniuses. What can we say?
Lo and behold, we are here, and they set the Marauder down, and they get off the ship, and Wrecker's like, thanks, Omega. I appreciate that. That Wrecker's just like actually showing appreciation for the work she's putting in right now. Like that's just cute. You don't get a lot of appreciation, like not a lot of thank yous in the Star Wars universe as plans are unfolding. I don't think it's usually pretty.
It's always very chaotic.
It's always very chaotic, very begrudging.
It's like when your family, you're all leaving for vacation, you're getting the bags in the car, and everyone's pissed.
Everyone's
like
annoyed.
Someone like, oh, hey, will you grab me a water? And they grab it, and you're like, thank you. And then it's like, yeah, and they like give you that look, like, I'm gonna say thank you, but I really want to punch you in the fucking face. It's like that.
Making food in the kitchen, and someone walks in the kitchen.
Right.
You know this meme that's going around right now about the kitchen? What is this? Do you guys understand it?
No.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's truly lost.
I also don't know what meme you're speaking of.
What's this deal with the fucking crumbs in the bed allegations?
Apparently, people, whenever they're making
crumbs in the bed allegations, just say you're cleaning.
You're making something in the kitchen, like just a lunch, something, a sandwich, and then someone walks in the kitchen. Apparently, this infuriates people for no reason. Someone else walks in the kitchen while you're in there, and it just infuriates them.
I mean, I can understand it to an extent. Like, obviously, like, here's the thing.
Someone walks into the commonplace of the house you live in. Oh.
No, I'm not angry. However, an empty kitchen is better than a full kitchen. This is undeniable.
This is the Bad Batch podcast.
I can see it barely. Okay, I'm sorry to derail.
No, I'm not mad at you. I think I divulged in this as well. I'm just laughing.
No, you know who's going to get pissed if someone comes up in their kitchen, though? Tech. Tech wouldn't like that shit. Back the fuck away from me. I can see him getting annoyed while he cooks. You know, like while he's doing like nice shit for other people, I can see him just getting real fucking annoyed with everybody. He's like, no, I fucking got it. You know?
He probably cooks with beakers and stuff.
Yeah.
Measure it out like that.
That's like me. You said, damn, Colton. I feel gassed right now.
You should.
I feel. No, I mean, like, I act like that in the kitchen. And that's not, I don't feel good about that. It's not because I'm mad. I'm just very anxious.
Wow. What a kitchen segment. Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk it?
Not me.
Not me.
Look at us.
Cue the noise. But, you know, Omega leads the Bad Batch to the tube system. It activates a little circular platform and brings up a little carriage. Reminded me a lot of the ball things that you have to push in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, I was thinking like the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World things.
That too.
Like the hamster ball car things.
Yeah.
Those are dope.
But, you know, she leads the Bad Batch inside and they descend into the depths of the underground city, and after going down the elevator shaft, their carriage enters a long-ass tunnel, and it's like, oh, this is what Elon Musk wants to do. But Tech observes that this type of underwater transport system is not documented on any of their schematics. He's like, this is illegal. This isn't up to code. And Echo's like, yeah, the Kaminoans had a lot of secrets.
Why didn't they all just go down there?
What's that? Why didn't all the Kaminoans? Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
Well, maybe they thought, maybe there might be some blaster fire coming our way.
Yeah.
So maybe a good decision. Yeah. Maybe a good decision.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Sorry.
But,
spoilers.
You know.
Spoilers.
Omega
For all
tells
the people listening to this that haven't watched the episode yet.
Omega tells the clones, you know, Nala Se told her about this underwater facility and that the tunnel leads to a private research laboratory. And she says that there are others that run through Kamino, which is an exciting proposition and implies that there's more to Kamino than just Tapoka City, potentially. I'd like Tapoka City. But sensing Omega is anxious, Echo's like, you all right? And it's like, no, she's not. Appreciate the effort, though, Echo.
They're trying.
They're trying. And you know, like that was very becoming of what what someone who hasn't been the father figure to her.
Well, yeah, and you can also see that like Wrecker isn't really either. Like he is
Wrecker's more like a brother, like an older brother.
He's the cool uncle. He's the John Stamos, not the fucking Bob Saget.
Exactly. And you just got Echo and Tech who are just roll them up in one, and that's Dave Coulier for you. But,
absolutely, this makes perfect sense.
But you know.
I
appreciate his effort. But Omega says, you know, I'm ready. Like, I'm just trying to save Hunter's life. And back at Tobacco City, Hunter is walking past a pair of stormtroopers, and he asks, where are all the regs? And Crosshair is like, when'd you start caring about them? And just, again, fuck. Where are all the regs? When'd you start caring about them, huh?
Damn.
Just imagine every line like he has tears in his eyes, and every single one makes sense.
Damn. But I've been kind of like not been feeling bad for him, but now I like really feel bad for him.
Well, he's been a victim the whole time. Everything he's, and we'll get more to it.
Yeah,
we'll get more to it.
Yeah. This does make his story just so much better, because before this I was just like, nah, fuck Crosshair. Now I'm like, no, fuck.
Well, I was already on the not fuck Crosshair train, because inhibitor chip being controlled, he's a victim as much as anybody else. But we'll get more to that later when the controversy is stirred. And Hunter notices there are also no Kaminoans here. And he's like, oh shit, this facility's being decommissioned. A little more than that, Hunter. A little more. A little bit more.
A little bit.
Hunter observes that Crosshair is not one bit concerned about the Empire phasing out their home planet, and then obviously eventually themselves. I'm a little off put. We'll get there more. We'll get there more later. But Crosshair points a blaster at Hunter, and he says, not the clones that matter. We'll be fine. And that line too, given the later occurrences in the episode,
oh my god,
it's just like, fuck. It's so hard to hold back. I know KBZ just got up and left, so I'm trying to hold everything in.
Let's go through the whole episode, all the good parts without him.
Let's do it. But Hunter's led to a control room where the elite squad trooper tells Crosshair that a ship was detected entering the system, but they lost him below scanner range. And Crosshair realizes, hey, Bad Batch is here, and the elite squad member says that she'll notify the squads, and Crosshair's like, don't bother. They'll come to us.
All of this where Crosshair's just like, they'll come. Don't worry, they'll come to us, and all that stuff. It makes me, I want to know, like, we never got to see, like, what happened in between him getting captured and him getting inhibitor chip put in. I want to know if there was ever a part where he's like, no, they'll come for me. My squad's coming for me. If he ever told Rampart, like, no, they'll come back for me. I want to know.
I want to know if, like, another really interesting, like, thing that they could have done is, like, Rampart being insistent that, like he's like, maybe we should pursue them. And Crosshair's like, you don't have to worry about that. They will come for me. And then they just never did. Like, that would have been devastating. But,
oh, poor guy, man. Wow.
He adds in here, they don't leave their own behind most of the time.
He's just really letting him hear it.
Hunter's like, you trying to kill us? And Crosshair's
if I want to
just
kill
like,
you.
If I wanted you dead, you would be fucking dead. What aren't you getting about this yet? Like, it's like, yeah. I think every line. But
there's one line.
Match will have a new meaning. Like every single one.
One particular line that hit the hardest, like this episode.
Yeah.
And that is a part of the episode where I did feel bad for Crosshair. The line, I'm just going to let you read it because you're way better at storytelling and reading lines.
After he gives Hunter a little shit here about they come back for their own most of the time. We cut back to the Bad Batch and they're in the underwater carriage, which is taking them to Nala Se's secret laboratory, and Omega explains that most in the city never knew about this lab, and Tech notices that Hunter's comm is still active while Echo offers to tap into the system, and Wrecker asks what is so special about this lab, and Omega explains that she was created in here. And they were created in here. And your mutations were enhanced in this room. And she adds that she was present during the creation of Clone Force 99.
She is older than them.
It adds another layer here, too.
She is not the kid in the situation.
She looks at them a little bit like they're her little brothers. So when they're getting neglected in the lunchroom at the beginning, and she stands up for them, that's big sister standing up for little brother.
Oh.
That's not her standing up for them as a scrappy young kid. That's her going, don't fuck with my little brothers.
My Omega.
But
this show, man, I did not expect this show to actually be this good.
No,
I'm like,
it's the best complete season of Star Wars animation ever, easily. I'd say
it's definitely the best first season.
Definitely the best first season. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, it benefits from being a quote unquote sequel series. However, it is still the best first season. I'd argue season 7 of Clone Wars probably gives it a run for its money just based off the last 4 episodes alone. Mm-hmm. However, beginning to end, I'd argue this is one of the best seasons ever for Star Wars. And Wrecker asks, he's like, "Is that true? Like you were here for when I was born?" And Tech asks, "How could I possibly know that, Wrecker? I was born the same time as you." And I just love that Tech's never here for the bullshit. If there's a dumb question asked.
Yeah, but the thing is he gets it the most, so I understand his reaction because everyone just banks on him having this knowledge, and it's dude, I can't expand myself much more beyond what I've had access to. So what we have all had the same access to, I only know that shit.
No,
nothing beyond it.
I can't stand when that shit happens. When someone asks me a question and we've been together, the same amount that I do in this situation.
This is my equivalent of when I'm watching a movie with my girlfriend and she's like, "Hey, what's this happening?" Watch. It's 2 minutes away. You're going to find out. Why do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
The point of the
that's
movie.
bad where even if you know
that's
what's going to happen,
it's such thing.
But it's the worst whenever you're watching a movie for the first time with someone and you're and they're like, "Hey, what do you think happens to him?" And you're like, "I don't fucking know. We're watching the same movie."
And
I'm trying to figure it out at the same time as you.
Well, it's also and I'll give my dad has a real problem with this. My dad will ask literally, and he has this habit where he likes to get on his phone, scroll for a little bit, look back up, ask about everything that's happened over the last 5 minutes, and then continue scrolling.
So we're all the same role. We're the responsible one that has to fill in
everything
for the irresponsible movie watcher.
But then Kyler, that was a good example. My girlfriend also goes "Why is that happening?" And I have to go I assume that's a plot of this. Otherwise it's this is going to be a pretty poor movie.
Yeah, we're both going to be disappointed.
You're asking me about.
We're both gonna have the equally same shitty experience if we don't find that out.
Might be a plot of the movie, actually. Yeah. Let's find out.
Let's see.
But, I sure don't know what's gonna happen to our main character in the next 1 hour and 48 minutes. I sure hope that he ends up having a complete arc.
Who's that? I don't know.
God, Iron Man? I have no fucking idea.
You mean that character that we just met?
I wish I could actually talk to people like that. I wish I could actually talk to someone like that, in that situation. Because every time I'm in this situation, I answer sincerely and actually help them out.
I'm not sure.
No, yeah, I would never I would never act like this.
I act like that, depending on the person.
Always a 50-50 split on every opinion we have. Everything. It's insane.
It's always 2 and 2. It's never not.
I mean, it really depends on the person, but with certain people, I'm definitely just I don't fucking know. Watch the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. But, Omega says it was only a short time before they were sent to be with the other clones when she first met them. And Echo reports that all of the central files have been wiped, that there's nothing left. Like, there's no data left in this system. Just then, the clones hear movement, and all of them aim their weapons to the source of the noise, and it turns out to be AZ. The droid is relieved to see Omega, and he tells her, he was hiding because soldiers were deactivating all the droids and forcing key Kamino personnel onto transports. And he says that those who resisted were eliminated. And when Echo asks if the clones did that, AZ explains that this was the work of other soldiers. He explains that all the clone troopers were reassigned and transported off-world with the exception of CT-9904, which is Crosshair. Wrecker's like, Crosshair's here? And it's like, come on, buddy. You know better than that. Like, you knew you were coming into a trap with Hunter's comm, and you didn't think Crosshair would be here? But AZ, advises Omega, yo, get the fuck out of here. And Omega's like, nope, I got rides for my father. And Tech tracks Hunter's comm.
I think you mean little brother.
Little brother. But Tech
little brother, father, big brother. As is the case. But Tech tracks Hunter's comm to the central cloning platform, and Omega invites AZ along, and the droid's like, "Yep, all right, I guess I'm in on this shit now. God damn it, why'd I run into you fucks?" But at the central cloning platform, Hunter speaks with Crosshair, telling him that the Empire is occupying planets and silencing anyone who stands against them, and he appeals to Crosshair. He's like, "You know that this isn't right." And Crosshair tells Hunter he doesn't see the bigger picture. Like, you don't get this shit yet, but you will. You'll see. And Hunter tells Crosshair that the Empire is, controlling him using an inhibitor chip. And just then, alarms ring. An unauthorized entry is upon us on Platform 5. And Crosshair's like, aha, the Bad Batch. And we get that little cutoff for the first time, and it's like, oh. First time I watched it, I was like, that was weird. We'll see. The Bad Batch travel through the platform, crossing a bridge and entering a door. And as they enter it, they avoid a stormtrooper patrol. And AZ tells Omega that those are not clone troopers. And Echo adds that they're the TK troopers that we encountered on Daro. And they continue their travel. Tech tracks Hunter's comm, and Wrecker leads the Bad Batch into a hall below the training group. And since Crosshair is waiting, Tech tells his fellow clones that they will not be going through the main entrance, but through the lift. And Wrecker and Echo tell Omega to stay below, stay out of sight. We need you to go contact Rex. And he says if things go south, hit up Rex, tell him to come through. And they ascend up the lift into the former training room, only to find themselves surrounded by Crosshair and the elite squad. And Crosshair. This was a pretty quick give up, by the way. Like, I expected way more of a battle first.
Nope. Like, they were like, we're done. We're trapped.
You won't be needing your weapons anymore. I just love the way Crosshair talks. God, his voice is just so cool.
Outstanding. And I really wish I would feel a lot better about the end of this episode if Omega would have contacted Rex. And I'll get more to that later. But what the fuck are they gonna do?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever they were like, "Hey, in case everything goes to shit, go ahead and contact Rex," I thought for sure immediately. I was already thinking of like, all right, how does this episode end? And in my mind, I was like, all right, it goes to shit. They all get captured. Omega goes and contacts Rex. We bring in the cavalry. Very quickly, I was like, I guess I'm fucking wrong.
I'm just fascinated.
And now,
okay, but like, there's no way they're dead.
Yeah,
there's
like they're not
no way.
Like, no, they're all dead.
Maybe
what makes you think they're not dead?
Maybe one of them dies in this. Maybe.
Oh,
no, but
we're right. What if we get the Crosshair redemption here?
Dude.
What if Crosshair comes back for one of them and saves them?
Okay.
Sleep.
Mike, if I had to bet
I know he
money,
gets woken up, obviously.
if I had to bet money, I can almost, like, I see the scene in my head of Crosshair sacrificing himself for the others because he realizes he doesn't fit in with them anymore. Like, Omega just isn't right for him, and he just realizes all the bad he's done, and he's like, you know what? Let me save my boys one last time. Let them live on.
Classic Star Wars fashion. Like, that is the stereotypical route they've gone every time there is a character to be redeemed, which is why I say something else.
I just fucking worry that they have not given fucking Tech and Echo hardly any fucking dialogue. They are working so hard to make sure that there is such little attachment to these characters that they can just whack the shit out of them and just be like, hey, you don't give a fuck. It's the fucking TikTok. It's the fucking Drewski shit, bro. It's fucking, you don't give a fuck.
How'd I miss that? God.
You don't give a fuck.
I swear to God.
Damn right, brother.
If they kill Echo, and they kill Tech, I will riot.
I'll boycott.
I'm not saying both. I'm saying one of them.
I will. I'll boycott season 2, but I will.
No, if one of them, if either one of them dies, frankly, that's shitty writing. Like, to avoid creating an attachment so that they can kill somebody sucks. Like,
no, I don't think Filoni would allow it to get there, I'm just trying to invent a way that Crosshair doesn't die, but damn, it seems really hard. I guess maybe, hey, let's not hold out hope here. Like, there's a second season.
Like,
the Empire ain't going anywhere. There's a second season. There's an Empire. It ain't going anywhere. No. Fucking, who's to say Crosshair doesn't escape, run up with the Empire, and then next year maybe we see some other shit. I don't know.
Do you think we get the mention of Fulcrum ever?
It's a distinct possibility. Like, there's like an identity as Fulcrum lurking in the shadows or something.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything. The guy who ended up being Fulcrum, was he Fulcrum the whole time, or was it more than one person that was Fulcrum?
The Fulcrum was a lineage. So Fulcrum started with Saw Gerrera. Saw Gerrera gave Fulcrum to Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker gives it, or doesn't give it, but it is taken over by that person. Okay. And then that person gives it to the next person.
Gotcha.
It's like a title bestowed upon it's like a certain frequency they use to communicate with people. It's just
to be sure, without saying who the person is. The person is who I think it is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The reveal at the end of season 1 of Rebels.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure because you guys were being so like discreet about it, and I was like, am I not remembering who the fuck Fulcrum is correctly?
Because I was wondering if Fulcrum was more of a rebel, like last ditch, like emergency, like call line sort of thing. And like, I was just maybe they bring that in next episode.
Oh, that'd be dope.
And tie that in. But I didn't know. I don't know if it's really like that. It seems it's more of like, I'm going to give you intel and that's all. But,
I mean, it would be really, really cool if somehow like Echo, like it would be Echo. Like if any of them had a line to a Jedi, typically the Jedi who would be in possession of Fulcrum at the moment, it'd be Echo.
I don't think are they in possession of Fulcrum yet?
Yeah, because I think it was as soon as Anakin's no longer in the picture.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure if it took a little bit.
You know what? For our boys, Echo and Tech, not really getting that much limelight. They have the 2 coolest helmets in all of, honestly, trooper helmets in general. I think Echo's helmet,
Tech has the coolest trooper helmet of all time.
But Echo's, like when he takes it off, the animation of how it like locks into his thing, that's just dope. So our boys, they got something running for them.
Actually, I think Miles might be right about Ahsoka.
Fulcrum not really being a thing right now.
Yeah, because in the book, I'm just gonna say it. It's getting too hard to dodge around it. She's busy, like she is not, and this is within the first year. She's in hiding. She's not doing shit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought she kind of took a break from being.
Yeah, she's in hiding for a while.
For a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to see anything like that here. But
Kyler, do you know who it is yet?
Who?
Or wait,
no?
Wait,
good.
has Kyler watched it? Or Kyler just hasn't been listening to us at all. All right, sweet.
He's on
I heard Fulcrum, but I don't know who Fulcrum is. So when you guys were talking about it, I just was like, hey, this doesn't really pertain to me.
That's perfect because
nothing I can add to this.
Spoiler for you.
Did we finish the scene by scene, or are we like?
We've got plenty left. We got plenty.
Yeah, we should just kind of.
Hey,
we should just finish it.
How guilty am I supposed to feel about this? What is Fulcrum? What should I know from?
Just honestly, don't worry about it.
Actually, it won't fold into the story at all.
I just thought it would be a really cool
But what's it originally?
It was originally Saw Gerrera had this frequency, the Fulcrum frequency, and he gave it to Anakin Skywalker so that if he ever needed help, he could contact the Jedi correctly. Anakin ended up using it as a kind of that for a lot of people. If anybody needed help, they could contact him through the Fulcrum frequency.
Okay, is this in Clone Wars?
Yes, and then
that's funny. Okay, because if it was introduced, because it's funny, because I'm right in the middle of Saw Gerrera, just got introduced the last few episodes.
You'll probably hear about Fulcrum
so it's kind of funny that I'm probably an episode or two away. All right.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like a dunce. Yeah, I don't zone out, but you guys were just having a really good conversation. I was like, I feel like if I just stay out, that'll probably be the best.
The crazy thing is, this is the halfway point of the episode. Whenever they go up in the elevator, not that much happens after this.
The rest of this episode,
it's
a lot of dialogue and then what happens. Yeah.
But here we go, baby.
Crosshair's waiting at the top, and Tech tells his fellow clones, let's take the lift, and they get up there. Crosshair's there, lead squad surrounding them, and he greets them. He says, you won't be needing your weapons. And
together, he said something together,
again,
once again, and he tosses the comm at their feet, what they were tracking,
Yeah, and the Bad Batch drops their weapons. Crosshair's see, following orders isn't that hard. And he asks, where's the kid? And Wrecker claims they didn't bring her here. And Crosshair's you fucking liar. You liar.
The way he took off his helmet to say, you think we're that dumb? Or yeah, whatever. It was okay, Wrecker, come on, dude.
He's like, guys, go find her. Go find this kid. Yeah. And Echo activates a beacon, and AZ advises Omega to flee into the research laboratory. And Omega's nope. AZ's this is going to put us in danger. And Omega's too bad. Here we go. And she activates.
Yep, that's the point.
Yeah, she activates several training droids, and the Bad Batch and Crosshair's forces hear the noise. And an elite squad trooper says they are running out of time, but Crosshair orders them to hold their positions. Hunter asks if Crosshair intended to lure them here in order to kill them. And Crosshair's I have no intention of killing you, despite your treason. And Hunter counters, we're loyal to each other, not the Empire. And Crosshair's oh, loyal to you, not me, though. I haven't forgotten. And Crosshair's but I'll give you a chance. And
say it. Just
right.
It's the line. It's right here, man.
I don't have it in my notes.
Oh no, it's okay. It's the rough outline is well, maybe you did say it, but it's I'm going to give you the one thing you never gave me.
Oh yeah, a chance.
And it was just a boom, just a heart. He said it like that. He said it with a just I'm going to give you the one thing. Just such a disappointed tone to
So I've had two thoughts. I'm leaning towards one, but I'm going to say the other one anyway. Is it possible, and I'm stressing this, that Crosshair has had his inhibitor, it was enhanced twice, right? I know he says it's gone, right? It's removed. Is there any chance that it's been enhanced twice and he just would say because it's been enhanced and he's so committed to following with the Empire and his orders that he would say would he?
This is a very contentious part of the episode.
Would he lie about it? Because God, I don't want to believe.
Here's the thing. I think Crosshair was lied to.
Yeah, but here's what I think. I don't want to say that he doesn't have one, period, or that he does still have one in him, and I'm just not. I don't want to be I refuse to believe it's gone. You know what I mean? I refuse. I can't. No. the way he speaks to them and the words and like how much pain it sounds like there's in them, that doesn't sound to me like that's too personal. That is like that.
Here's the thing,
that isn't inhibitor behavior. You know what I mean?
Not. But here's the thing, is that I think we're getting Joe. Just go ahead. I don't need to talk.
I am so sorry, but I just had like one of the biggest clicks.
Go ahead.
That I've had in the Bad Batch. I haven't really had a theory until like now.
Do it.
And maybe okay, so Crosshair is giving these boys a chance. He's saying you're either joining me in the Empire or you can die.
Yeah.
Why, if he truly wants to be with them still, why wouldn't he go with
That's
Bad
my
Batch?
thing. Like that's why I think that the inhibitor chip has to be activated.
No, I don't think it's the inhibitor chip. I think it's because he knows what's actually going on behind the scenes at Kamino, what the Empire is doing. I think Omega, these troopers that she sets off, the secret part of Kamino is Empire known. That's the Empire's business going on down there. And the only Kaminoans that know about it are the ones that are involved with the Empire to begin with. And these droids are like the Mark 1, 2 of, similar to the Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers.
They are.
And this is the early development of that. Maybe we do get some Moff Gideon somewhere in here, this, maybe this is how it all relates, is like, why are we following the Bad Batch? Why are we getting Grogu in these, this stuff, and it's all kind of going towards one thing.
Well, yeah, there's this interesting balance that they've kept, like the tie of cloning all the way through now. Like, the fact that is a part of every story in Star Wars, save for the original trilogy. Like, now, because the sequel trilogy has a Palpatine clone, it has Snoke. The prequel trilogy is all about clones. Clone Wars is all about clones. The Mandalorian has been Grogu trying to get cloned. The Bad Batch is, again, all about clones in Kamino. So it would only be reasonable to assume that going forward in the Bad Batch, Season 2, we see this kind of transfer of power of what because we see the cloning technology is in possession of the Empire. Pershing and the Mandalorian works for the Empire, is the head of cloning. So we're bound to see that transition from Nala Se to a different person, I think, eventually. But how about I just go ahead and finish this little part here of the scene by scene breakdown.
I will mute myself, so I'm not
Deal. But the Elite Squad trooper finds Omega and Crosshair and or finds Omega and Crosshair orders, shuttle her off world. And Hunter pleads with him, like, don't do this. And Crosshair says, yo, it's for her own good and yours as well. Hunter's like, yo, Omega belongs with us. And he's like, with you? In constant danger? Living among fugitives? And when I heard this, I was like, this boy's got real rationale on him. Like, at least a little bit. And, he tells Hunter, let Omega go. Protect the kid and stop pretending to be something you're not. Dun, dun. We are superior to those clones. Dun, dun. And the Empire cannot protect the galaxy without strength. Dun, dun. This is what we were made for. Be my brothers again. And just then, Tech notices the reflecting mirror. And he bumps Wrecker on the arm like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, damn. And Crosshair orders his elite squad troopers. He says, stand down. No, Commander. And Crosshair goes, all right, then. Shoots at them. It goes through all of them, cuts down all 4 of them. And Crosshair goes, so, that answer your question? And the elite squad member's still alive with Omega, orders her to move it. And she says she's in the middle of something. AZ rams one of the storage compartments into her, knocking her down. And Omega thanks AZ, and they get on out of there. But Crosshair tells Hunter and the rest of the Bad Batch, we are meant for more than drifting through the galaxy. Stop running and join the Empire and have purpose again. The Bad Batch look at each other, and Hunter counters. you don't get who we are. And Crosshair tells him, don't make the same mistake twice. Don't become my enemy. Hunter responds, we never were enemies. And just then several training droids enter the chamber, and Hunter seizes the opportunity of the distraction and begins to fight Crosshair here. And Wrecker asks who turned on the droids, and Tech's like, yo, that wasn't me. And the Bad Batch exchange fire with the droids for a while Hunter is fighting with Crosshair, and AZ thinks that Omega may have activated too many droids. This might have been just a step too far. And Omega's like, yeah, I can see that. And she pulls out the bow and is like, fuck. Like, I gotta do a little damage control here. I love
she
that.
Is so like quick to the trigger now. Have you noticed that? How hesitant she was from like when she first got that bow to now? She just whips that thing out with no abandon. She has like no remorse. I am capping motherfuckers.
Yep, that's that.
She's Legolas. She's
Legolas in this. So, but Hunter and Crosshair continue to fight and just fist fight. They're just going back and forth, throwing blows, and they're exchanging fire with the droids as they fist fight each other. And Crosshair joins the firefight. He shoots past Hunter, shoots one of the droids, and they get into formation and just chills. I was like, oh fuck! Oh
the
god!
The look they exchanged, like the look of like
the knowing glance, like
they're like
all
right.
For a moment at least.
All right,
like we got to get out of here.
That was cool. That was it was a cute little bromance moment,
Joseph, are you speaking right now?
Sorry, I will go back.
No, I'm kidding.
Joe, were you talking? That's a no-go, bro.
That was really hard. That was like 2, 3, 4 minutes of me not saying a word. That was hard.
And you're talking again.
I know. I understand.
Shut the fuck up. Meanwhile, Elite Squad member number 2 seals the exit of the training chamber and informs Rampart that Crosshair has lost control of the situation. And Rampart's like, everybody get the fuck out of there. Let the clones die together. This will be cool. And the Bad Batch and Crosshair join forces to shoot down the training droids and escape on a shuttle. And they're heading to the training droids. They're shooting them down. Elite Squad escapes on a shuttle, gets onto a Star Destroyer, the last member left. And Rampart informs Mr. Tarkin here, all essential personnel have been evacuated. Tarkin asks about the chief scientist, and Rampart reports that the chief scientist and the cloning technology are all now under Imperial control. And Tarkin says, you may fire when ready.
Oh my god, okay, sorry. He actually waved, dude. He's part of it now, bro.
He knows now.
But to go off what you just said, Colton, to bring it back, to be the person that brings it back to reality. Like once
that's a first.
The first like inclination that I'm like, okay, this place is going down was like the line of, all right, everything essential's off planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, they usually don't say that unless it's no longer going to be
and
there.
And then Tarkin drops the classic line that he said for Alderaan. He said it for Scarif. You may fire when ready. And now he said it for Kamino. And, it's an ugly scene, but Rampart orders the crew of the Star Destroyer to move the ship into position. And I don't know if you guys
how
noticed.
Much it looks like Jar Jar Binks destroyers.
Yeah.
Why do they look like Jar Jar Binks?
True. But did you guys notice the patch on the clone's arm that Rampart gave this order to? The open circle patch. The open circle was a fleet commanded by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. These were their soldiers. Once upon a time, like the open circle, the two red maroon halves represented Obi-Wan and Anakin, two parts of a whole. Just thought that was an interesting little detail that this crew has been repurposed and is now Ramparts.
Okay, now onto that though. We know Anakin continues, or Vader at this point continues to fuck with the 501st or whatever it is. What are the chances Vader's fucking around on the, taking out this taking out Kamino.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Vader to be involved somehow. But given that Rampart's in charge of it, it's like less. It feels far down the Imperial ladder for him.
I feel like Vader wouldn't really be this involved yet. He's still like I mean, you got to think he still has his new body. Like he's still like trying to figure out.
Yeah, no, I regardless of body, think about what he's going through about now. With
exactly. Like if anything, Palpatine is just sending him to kill people, like just to get rage out.
He probably doesn't even know how to walk yet. So.
Yeah. Well, he did walk pretty much
where we
right
are.
when he was.
Yeah, but that could have been rage induced. That could have been rage induced.
I mean, like, walk, that's not one rage-induced and be able to actually, like, fight.
Shall we continue?
We shall.
So, as the clones continue to battle the training droids, Hunter and Crosshair turn to face each other, and the clones and Omega converge on Crosshair, and holding a pistol, Hunter tells Crosshair, "Forget the Empire. Let us help you. Let us remove your inhibitor chip." And Crosshair says, "I had mine removed long ago." And Hunter's like, "When?" And Crosshair's like, "Does it matter?" And Hunter's like, "Yeah? It does. Because if you've had your inhibitor chip removed the whole time, this is even worse." Okay. Crosshair says, "I am who I am." And before Crosshair can shoot, Hunter stuns him. Omega runs up, gives Hunter a big ol' hug, and he's like, "I'm sorry you had to come back to Kamino." And Omega's like, "You did the same for me." And then Hunter examines Crosshair's head, where he sees the scar, which he probably now thinks is an inhibitor chip removal scar, but we would know it to be from the enhancement of the inhibitor chip. So I'm gonna go one by one on where we stand here. I don't want many interruptions. Deal. I will go first, Joe will go second, Kyler third, Miles fourth, just because that's how it appears on my screen. So, as of yet, I think Crosshair still has his inhibitor chip. My thought process here is that his loyalty to his brothers is the last remnants of himself. His undying loyalty to the Empire through it all is the effects of the enhancement. If he didn't have an inhibitor chip, why wouldn't he just leave with his brothers? That seems to be what he wants, to reunite with his brothers in a purpose. And that purpose is to serve the Empire. I hope, I pray that the inhibitor chip is there. If it is not, it's an interesting way to go with the story. Simply because now we've got this thing where Crosshair has been permanently affected by something. Because, let's be real, like, I know Crosshair prides himself on his enhancement, but I don't know that he was ever a Nazi about it. I mean, superior race and stuff. I mean,
those lines were pretty hard hitting when he said them.
Yeah, it's like, here's the thing though. I'm of the mind he was lied to. I don't think he is lying because I don't think he has an inhibitor chip, knows about it, and is like, actually, I don't. I think Rampart told him, because it would have had to have been after they told him he had an inhibitor chip. And it would have had to have been before they ran into him again on Ryloth or Braca or whatever.
When did they tell him he had one? Or when did they figure it out? Like, when would Crosshair's first... when was Crosshair's first knowledge
I think it would have been Braca, right? After they got all theirs removed.
Oh, yeah, because he... Okay, that's the thing. Like, the line that gets me is that Crosshair says he had it removed long ago. And he, emphasizes the, I've had, it's not even a thought anymore. I've had it long ago.
I mean...
Maybe that's what he thinks his first surgery was for, the first time he laid down.
That's why... that line alone makes me think it's still in there. Saying, maybe whenever, his face was kind of burnt from the thruster thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the Empire did something, right, because they were working on that side of his face already. Could have been a little rewire, something going on. The Empire could do a whole lot. We don't really know how inhibitor chips fully work even.
Yeah.
Really. So, arrows are pointing towards that he has it in there. But I am going to go with that he does not have it in there anymore, and that this isn't truly who he is. He's just been corrupted by the Empire to say these sort of things. And I think part of it is true, though, because this is kind of his character, even like when we were first introduced to him. He's kind of a hard, just... I mean, that's kind of like how all sharpshooters kind of are, like the stereotypical sharpshooter, I guess. And I kind of see him like actually developing these feelings, like if like he joins the Empire, like he has a mind where by itself won't go to evil, but like with the persuasion of the Empire, I think it can be very easily led.
And going along with that thought process, I don't think it's too out of the cards to say that if his inhibitor chip is gone, that he could be justifying his like doing his best to justify his actions with a continuing loyalty to the Empire. Kyler, I want your thoughts now that me and Joe have gone.
I think just based on where we're at, like I said, I kind of gave you my two like branches, which way the thing that keeps sticking with me is like the emotion he displayed. Like that doesn't sound like someone who's really being like controlled, or I'm not going to say manipulated, because I definitely think there's a chance that he's being, well, not even definitely. There is almost 100% positively a chance he's being manipulated by the Empire one way or another.
Yeah.
But my point is like that those emotions, the way he was talking to Hunter, like that is not a man to me that sounds like he is lacking like emotion, lacking like that, like human touch. You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
I don't know. I gotta figure out. I can't wait to see where this episode picks up, because like we're in the finale, and where that episode left off, there's no way we start somewhere within the first 5 minutes where it's not going to be like, holy shit, you better be gripping your seat. Like,
I feel like we're off Kamino within 5 minutes.
Well, no, but I mean, like, we're getting straight to it. Like, Crosshair's probably going to be up and at him in the first, like, 2 or 3 minutes on the ship, if I had to guess. I mean, if not, maybe we start somewhere else. But I'm saying, like, the first bits of story, I feel like the Bad Batch is going to be involved. Crosshair is going to be at the center of, no doubt. Like when we see, so I guess, so like that's what I'm saying. Like where I just gotta feel, I can't wait to see, just because I know it's like, this isn't that episode. Like this is the finale. This isn't that episode you turn on and you kind of like, oh, I'm getting the rest of my food ready. Like, no, you sit down when you are ready to fucking watch, because it's gonna hit you like a fucking ton of bricks right off rip. Like I'm expecting a punch in the mouth right as soon as the episode starts. Not necessarily like I'm not saying they might kill someone. I'm just saying like something big is like we're picking up real quick right at the start, and like I don't know. Crosshair, I'm just nervous. I want something. I want that redemption. I want him back with his brothers. But like God, that just sounded so like it's no longer just like he's not an enemy because the Empire's saying so. Like those words sounded like I fucking despise you. Like we are not talking about like this isn't petty.
I don't know.
Shit
There's a fact that we haven't really talked about. Like he shot like his own soldiers. Like he pulled the trigger
with the intention of replacing them with the Bad Batch.
Yes, but like the fact that he pulled the trigger in the first place. Like, do you think someone with an inhibitor chip could do that?
Well, here's the
or
thing.
Does the inhibitor chip even affect anything
his
like
inhibitor
that? Yeah.
chip even exact? Like, do they even know how much that affects him?
Also, let's not act like the Empire has ever cared about stormtroopers' lives.
I mean, yeah, they are by creation.
Yeah, let's not act like they're like it's going to be ingrained in the inhibitor chip. No, don't shoot your troopers.
Hey, if it calls for it, go for it, man. We ain't going to question
exactly.
it. We got a couple spare motherfuckers in the back anyway. We're good.
And in this case, it would have called for it because his plan was to replace them with the Bad Batch. Because let's be honest, those assholes that he was training with, they all kind of sucked.
Yeah,
okay, fair.
Miles, where are you at on this whole crosshair inhibitor chip thing?
So I'm just gonna, before I start with this, I'm gonna place my early bets in what Kyler said of, I don't think we're getting a death. I think we're getting the death right off the rip. I think Omega's dying.
Oh. Okay, I could guarantee you're wrong. but you can continue to believe. I will let you have this piece of knowledge for free from the all-knowing. Omega does not die next episode.
It's true.
I don't believe you.
Crazy if she does. If she does,
if Omega dies, I'm not watching season 2.
I will actually boycott.
No, like dead ass. That would be the first thing that Star Wars has ever done that made me go, I won't keep watching this.
If they kill the kid, I swear to God. Well, she is older than the Bad Batch, so
exactly.
Technically she could be offed.
Yeah.
She has to, if she goes out, she has to have the greatest death in the history of television.
Because no. She's just getting taken out by a lone blaster bullet.
I gotta see her go full Drax, just like 2 knives, jumping at an Imperial Walker, like some shit like that, like some crazy shit, like season 8
is too thick.
where the way they had little Lady Mormont go out. You know what I'm saying? The way she stabbed the giant in the eye, like that's badass.
She actually just drowns. That's how she goes out. She just drowns.
The beast's hide is too thick. I must penetrate it from the inside.
Cue the noise.
But so my thoughts on this, I kind of agree with Kyler. I really think that like the emotion behind what he said, it sounded too real. I think there is still the chance that he could have just been lied to, but I also think that in a way him and Rampart's relationship was to the point where even if they hadn't removed it, I think they would have told him, like, no, it's still in there. And we're enhancing you further with it. And I think they would tell him the truth. I don't think they have any reason to lie to him because he's been loyal so far. And like whereas like the other, the rest of the Bad Batch, they were clearly like their inhibitor chips weren't working correctly. And that's why from the beginning, they were kind of, willing to not listen to their orders. But his was working from the beginning, so I think he's just like, no, you're going to be loyal no matter what I say. So, you know what? Yeah, your inhibitor chip's still in there. There's nothing you can do about it.
What move is that? What kind of strategic move is that on the Empire? If you can inhibit and control your soldiers as the Empire, why wouldn't you?
Oh, but at the same time, if he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Because you guys were saying
there's no way to tell he doesn't need it because as soon as you take it out,
you're right.
But maybe they were just like willing to kill him if that was the case. Like,
but also on a point that you and Joe had made, you guys said like, mainly you, Colton, said like he doesn't seem like the character, like it didn't seem like he was going to go full Nazi. I completely disagree. His character from the beginning was like very much like. He seemed like if any of them were gonna go to gonna willingly sway towards the Empire and be like, no, I am better than all of the regs, and I am better than all of the just like normal people that they're bringing in. It's him, because he was saying he was better than the regs in the Clone Wars. I'm pretty sure.
Is it hard to like make a Clone Force 99? Like, was it just a super rare thing that just?
No, they did it on purpose.
So, like, why not? Why aren't they just pumping out crosshairs?
Because the crosshairs aren't great for every situation.
You'd have a crosshair for just each planet. Easy, like you just have an assassin on each planet. That seems
I gotta guess that there is some sort of like it's not a.
It's more complicated than just.
We
figured it out now.
It is some sort of like luck thing. Like you kind of stumble into a part of the process of cloning that's like. Oh,
a lot of them die.
One that we can do this with.
Yeah, or it might even be like the majority of the ones that we try this on die.
And Clone Force 99 was just the mutations that survived.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like it was in the Clone Wars whenever they were first introduced. He was saying that they were better than regular clones from then too, because whenever Echo tried to join them, he was like, nah, fuck him, he's a reg.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I mean, I do think that characteristically, if there is any of them that would do this willingly, it is Crosshair. And they have given him the fuel to his fire to join the Empire now. Like, you didn't come back for me. These are the people who stuck by me, like, at the very least. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in that case, maybe it is so. And I'm going to go full in on what Kyler said he was trying not to do. I just don't want to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is the other aspect that it is a kid's show. Sometimes they just tell you how it is. They don't lie to you. So, I mean, maybe we'll find out it was a lie. I hope we do. However, if it's not, it's another chink in the armor here. Like,
I think now. So we've each spoken our crosshair inhibitor chip opinion. I think the next most important one is who's coming, or is anyone coming?
No,
no one's coming.
They're just going to find their way back to that platform. Is all. Like, that's it.
Okay. In the episode, did they end up contacting Rex or not yet?
They didn't.
Fuck.
Wait, I'm trying to think.
I was in the same place. If they had contacted Rex, then I'd say for sure someone.
The robot was with him, like, because I remember, like, she was like, "All right, that's the signal," and then so nothing went out to Rex. Nothing.
No, because she immediately was like, "Let's just help them."
Dang.
If something did go out to Rex, they didn't show it.
So, like, no one even knows this is happening.
Yeah, this is quiet.
Is there Finnick Shand? What if she was trailing Omega?
Well, it could just be Nala Se contacted Finnick Shand and was like, I need you to pick her up. That could be pretty cool. And, like, here's the thing. I'm open to it because they need a fucking way out of here. Like,
How are they going to get out? How do they get out? If no one comes, how do they get out?
Let's do the last little scene-by-scene breakdown of the last very part of it. So, Tech informs Hunter that the Venators are descending on the city and they need to leave now. And after disarming Crosshair, Hunter tells Wrecker to carry him on out of there. And the clones flee with AZ, and while running through the corridors, we get this beautiful track, this beautiful soundtrack, and these shots of Kamino and Topoka City empty. For the first time. We've never seen it like this. We've always seen it bustling ever since Attack of the Clones. Bustling. But I'm a Game of Thrones reference here. Season 6 finale. When Cersei's about to do the thing. And it's just music. And it's showing the place, and it's showing everyone in there. And then the big thing happens, and it's like, that's exactly what this felt like to me. Like, this was the Star Wars equivalent to that. We got and it was such like this was the death of the Clone War era. Like, this is it. We are officially in the age of the Empire,
Also, we've gotten, like, back-to-back beautiful shots of Kamino. Like, the shot last episode of, like, the rain with the Venators outside, beautiful shot. This shot of the Venators descending, and then whenever they start firing and all that stuff, beautiful.
They're on the Venator. An Imperial officer confirms that they are in position. Rampart orders the gunners to bombard the city, and the Bad Batch are caught in the bombardment and have to flee back inside. The city sinks into the ocean, presumably. Several parts of it anyway. So, again, how do they get out of here?
They go back into their baby pods, and they use them as escape pods as vehicles.
That'd be epic.
It's not going to happen. But there is some credence to maybe something along the lines of maybe, like, that part that's down there doesn't collapse. Maybe, how deep is it down there?
It must be pretty deep down there.
So, like, there's no way it gets destroyed unless more of Kamino falls on top of it.
Yeah. So there is reasonable belief that they get to they get back to the tunnel system and on their ship before anything happens. Like, before they can really get affected.
Okay, because I feel like they showed us that room and they're not done with it. Like, yeah. I have a weird suspicious feeling that, like, we're going to find a big piece of a puzzle there. Like, maybe something
I'm assuming that's where we're coming back to at the beginning of this next episode. Like, that's kind of where we're going to restart.
What if, like, Omega is not telling the Bad Batch something? She knows something. Because, like, she was there when they were born. Maybe there was I don't know, like, maybe Omega's holding back something.
I don't think she would be though, because there's no reason for her.
She has no loyalty to anyone other than the Bad Batch. Any information?
No, but she's just not saying it because like it would destroy them or something like that. Like she just doesn't tell them because like it's not beneficial for them to know. Because like we don't know like really how they were born or created. Like we don't really know a lot about them. We just know that they're heavily mutated. That's about it. Like, and their inhibitor chips act a little differently than other clones. That's all we know about them. Like, and we get the room where they're born, and we don't really, I don't know. I feel like that's probably my guess on where they're going to go, and maybe they can contact someone from there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably where we regroup. Is in that cloning lab. But other than that, I don't really have any predictions for what happens in this finale.
I predict they all die.
It's a good prediction. It's a good prediction, and incredibly likely.
Knowing that there
is a Bad Batch season 2, it would only make sense if the Bad Batch was not in it.
Yeah, a different Bad Batch.
That's why this cloning facility is so important. They just all prick their hands, and they're like, "All right, since we're about to die, let's just clone ourselves again."
Exactly. Well, actually, what happens is Rex, Gregor, and Wolf. Yeah, Wolf. They take up the name the Bad Batch, and season 2 is about them as the Bad Batch.
I would also be open to this,
since the Bad Batch are all dead.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it having a Rex show.
I'm amazed that we haven't
at the expense of the bad. I mean, like, I want them to live.
Would you trade the Bad Batch for a Rex show?
Yeah. I mean, wait, we're getting a Rex show though, aren't we? Like, is that confirmed?
No?
So.
Nothing. Never mind.
I'm assuming we're gonna get like a super old man Rex in Ahsoka, but other than that, no.
Okay. Okay. Let's say they make it to the room. They're gonna contact someone. It's probably going to be Rex.
Yeah.
Who does Rex have at his repertoire right now? Who can Rex contact right now?
Okay, Rex could contact Bail Organa, and Bail Organa, in turn, could contact anybody.
Okay. Is this of importance enough to send a Jedi? Or,
no.
Is this just going to be like Rex being like, all right, I'm flying in, I'm picking you up, and there we go?
At this point, there's no Jedi. I don't feel like there's not a Jedi taking this risk.
I like throwing that out the window. I don't think a Jedi's showing up. Like, it just doesn't really make sense.
No,
like,
it wouldn't make sense. Just because, if it was going to be anyone, it would probably be one we know. And we know they're all busy. Like, they are hiding hardcore. Dead. This is like 6 months later. Like, they cannot show their faces right now. That is absolutely not something they can do.
Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's I just wonder where the heck they're going to go, man. Like, is this tying into Grogu? Like, is this where it's all leading to? Or is this just a show to be a show? Not tying into anything, and it's just a good ass show.
I mean, they're gonna maintain continuity somehow. Like, that is what they're gonna do. Dave Filoni's way too good at his job not to do that. And given his position within Lucasfilm, he's not given all these stories every little detail, but he's got broad strokes effects on stuff. So
do you think we get a character reveal or big cameo next episode at all?
No, I don't think we get anything. I don't because then it would be too much like the season 2 finale of Mandalorian. At that point, it's like, we're out of options. We're all about to die. A Jedi comes and saves us. It's the exact same story. And then it would hardcore. I would criticize the shit out of them for recycling stories.
I just mean what if within the first 10 minutes, they're saved, Crosshair is back, we learned he had, what if everything we're kind of thinking that's going to happen throughout the whole episode happens really quick? What if Crosshair is back and it's a time jump, something crazy, they have to have some form of a cliffhanger, obviously. It's, something is going to happen at the end that will make us go, oh shit, in some form of either oh shit or oh shit. It's one of those two. And I don't know. I don't know what. I couldn't tell you a cliffhanger that they could do.
Oh no, yeah. Like I'm out. I'm out on theories right now. Like I'm just ready for whatever they're gonna give us. I want to see Crosshair come rejoin his brothers. I'd enjoy seeing Crosshair shoot Admiral Rampart between his eyes.
That's happening. Oh, that has to happen.
Like and here's the thing. Since it's a kid's show, I don't think they're going to go the whole, like, take vengeance, kids. But I would love to see it, you know, just given that he clearly is like, I'll kill anybody.
Can we talk about how just good that guy looks in animation, though?
Rampart.
How, like, crisp, like, his, like, I don't know why. His animation is just, like, him and Hunter are just, like, a step above.
Skincare. He's, like, Rampart's got the skincare routine.
In Hunter, like, his hair was looking so good this episode, man. It took me out of the episode a couple times. I'm like, damn, they're really paying a lot of attention to this hair.
First time I show Hunter, I thought to myself, no way Miles is watching this and not thinking, fuck, his hair looks good.
Did not think about it once.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Dude.
I'll never understand. And with that, we should end the Bad Batch Bitches number 15, our 50th episode together. What a joy here on the Penny Bloom podcast. 'Twas I, Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to be here next week. Just absolutely mind blown with you boys.
I'm ready.
Hopefully it's heartwarming. Let's hope for the best.
Let's hope for the best. Miles fucking Buttress, thank you very much, buddy.
Hey, I mean, happy to be here, man. Happy to come back anytime.
Next week, even?
Probably.
Mayhaps?
Mayhaps.
A chance.
Definitely. Yeah.
No, I'm skipping the finale.
And thank you, KBZ, Kyler Barnett, on the screen below me that I can see and you cannot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Again, this was the Bad Batch Bitches, the Penny Bloom podcast. Head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, CoroBloom, where you will find a nice 55-minute Patreon intro where me and Joe go back and forth for 30 minutes about the Suicide Squad. We get into an interesting conversation about addiction temporarily, which is cool.
Don't do drugs, kids.
And then then these two show up, these two fuckboys, Miles and Kyler, and they just throw it all the way off the rails. This intelligent adult conversation me and Joe were having.
Joseph
George. Yeah, Joseph George. Believe it or not.
I know.
Hey, big up to you. That's a big day.
Leave a 5-star rate and review on Apple Podcasts for us. Share with a friend. Those are the two main ways we can grow. Another way, follow on Twitter at Penny Bloom Pod. Follow on Instagram at Penny Bloom Podcast. And lastly, peace, love, and bloom. And always praise Keanu Reeves.
Ball sack, boop, boop, penis. Yup.